Hey y'all, I'm the Southern Ma'am, but all my friends call me Tisoma. The Sniffer is a fairly new mob to Minecraft and a fairly unique one. The Sniffer is the only way to obtain pitcher pods and torch flower seeds. And while it's a very niche use, it's the only way to complete your flower garden with those rare beauties. Instead of locking the Sniffers up in immovable holes, or worse yet, turning them into living rugs, let's build an ethical Minecraft farm so our Sniffers have plenty of room to scratch and sniff to their heart's content. For a very simple farm design, the Sniffer can live on a 6x6 area of grass over top a hopper minecart track. The hopper minecart will pick up any seeds that the Sniffer digs up and deposit them in the chest. However, scaling up the size of this farm gets very expensive and very noisy. We're going to constrain our Sniffer farm to a single chunk, so the first step is to build a 16x16 platform. I made a 2-block frame all the way around and then filled the center with a diggable block. Sniffers can dig up seeds in this array of blocks: grass, dirt, coarse dirt, rooted dirt, mud, muddy mangrove roots, regular and pale moss, and podzol. So your center blocks need to be made of one or more of these choices. Now, I have had some trouble using mud in this design because it is slightly smaller than a full block, so I might avoid that one. To keep the Sniffers contained, we'll build a fence along the perimeter of our diggable area. This fence is just a placeholder. When you design the actual outer structure of your farm, you'll want to convert to solid walls to keep the Allays inside as well. Next, we need to build the Allay seed collection system, and we start with an etho hopper clock right at the back of our build. An etho hopper clock is simply made of 2 hoppers pointing into each other with comparators on either side, sticky pistons above the comparators, and a redstone block above the hoppers. Now, Allays are attracted to the sound of a note block, so on each side of the sticky pistons, we're going to place a redstone dust and a note block. When the Allays hear the sound of the note block, they'll bring their seeds to it, so we need a collection system underneath. I have 2 possible setups here to demonstrate. First, if you would like to use a copper golem to sort out the 2 different types of seeds, then you can place a hopper into a copper chest with a 1-block space under the note block. On top of the hopper, place a rail, and on top of that, place a minecart with a hopper. If you don't want to use copper golems to sort, you can simply place a chest on the outside with a hopper pointing into it, a rail on top, and a hopper minecart. In either one of these setups, the chests are accessible from the exterior of the build. For the rest of this build, I'm going to use the copper golem sorting system. I've also added an additional hopper right here in the front, pointing into the first one. That way, when the Allays throw their seeds, if they miss the hopper minecart, they should go in this hopper and still be collected. To activate the hopper clock, we're going to add a stack of items to one of the hoppers. It will take about 25 to 30 seconds for all the items to drain into the other hopper, activating the note block. The functional parts of this farm are actually complete. All we need to do is enclose the space and add the Sniffers, Allays, and copper golems. Our Sniffer farm is in full swing. The Sniffers are wandering around, sniffing the moss for seeds, while the Allays circle around them. We added 2 Allays. One is holding a pitcher pod seed and one is holding the torch flower seeds. That way, they are each responsible for collecting one of the 2 items. The copper golems are traveling back and forth, checking the copper chests for seeds. But with all of this exposed, there's a few problems. First, you can see the copper golems sometimes fall into the hoppers, and either them or the Sniffers here can move the minecart off of its original spot. Excuse me. Okay, so we get a little gummed up there if we leave everything exposed. So when you build the aesthetics of the design, you probably need to have a little more wall here protecting the redstone from all of these entities. As a side note, this farm design also works well with other mobs that drop items, like armadillos with their scoots and chickens with their eggs. You just need one Allay holding each of the possible mob drops so that they can collect them for you. Now that the interior of the farm is functional, it's time to build a fun exterior. Of course, you can change the outside of this farm to match the aesthetic of your world. I decided to take inspiration from where you dig up sniffer eggs in the suspicious sand of the warm ocean ruins. Specifically, this design is based on Big Warm number 7. I added red terracotta accents, glass windows on the sides, and of course, lots of beautiful pitcher and torch flower plants. Along the back, we can access those chests where the copper golems have sorted our seeds. When entering the farm, you have to be a little quick just in case there's an Allay on the other side of the door. We did prevent the sniffers from getting up here though by putting some fence gates in to keep them out of this small entryway. You can see first that we've replaced some of the moss with rooted dirt and coarse dirt and muddy mangrove roots, but these are still all diggable blocks. To give the place a lush feel, we added leaves and glowberries and vines all along the ceiling. The sniffers have some individual resting places in the corners with a little bit of a wall for privacy. Water and food are available here in the front. We've placed a wall in front of the redstone to cover it up and only leave the note block accessible. Just make sure that you leave an air block here so that the music can sound. There's an upside down stair over half of the copper chest, but the copper golem can still access and open the chest and place items in the 2 regular chests on the outside. Of course, this is just an example. How will you design your sniffer farm to fit the aesthetic of your Minecraft world? Well, what did you think? I hope this video inspires you to create your own sniffer farm in your Minecraft world. Good Lord willing and the sun still shines, I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you kindly for watching and bless your heart.